Remember, the name of the game when doing a Roth conversion is you want to convert that money slowly enough that you don't rise into a tax bracket that gives you heartburn, but you want to do it quickly enough that you get all the heavy lifting done before tax rates go up for good. Well, let's talk a little bit about what I think Donald Trump is going to do with the tax rates. He campaigned on this idea that he was going to extend the Trump tax cuts. And, the Democrats campaigned on the idea that he was going to extend the Trump tax cuts, which they didn't agree with. And so I think that that's precisely what's going to happen. I think most policy experts agree that that's going to happen. And so what that means is that through budget reconciliation, around about October of 2025, they're likely to extend those tax cuts by another 8 years, which I think is really interesting. Remember, the name of the game when doing a Roth conversion is you want to convert that money slowly enough that you don't rise into a tax bracket that gives you heartburn, but you want to do it quickly enough that you get all the heavy lifting done before tax rates go up for good. And so what this would effectively do is it would allow you to stretch that tax obligation over another 9 years if you include 2025. That's great because it allows you to stay in that 24% tax bracket along the way. It allows you to get more money shifted over that time frame. The downside of that is it's going to add another $5 trillion of debt to the national debt, according to Maya McGinnis of the Committee for a Responsible Federal Budget. So there's a downside to all of that. But I think that's what's likely to happen. I think that if ever there were a time in the history of our country to be undertaking a Roth conversion, it's over the course of the next 9 years. And so I think that's one of the implications of Trump's election. And I think it's something that people should be thinking about as they try to protect their hard-earned retirement savings from the impact of higher taxes down the road.
And you mentioned insurance. To me, insurance, and even Marvin was talking about this, insurance versus annuities versus stocks. I've never been of the position that they're opposed to one another. Like a good financial plan would have annuities to counter longevity risk, insurance to protect one's family, have money as a volatility buffer, equities to beat inflation, maybe a little Bitcoin, if people want to have cryptocurrency now, like maybe you have a little gold, you have cash for emergencies. Like to me, that just always made sense to me, like a balanced approach. Why is that so ridiculous?
It's not ridiculous. They're like little puzzle pieces that fit together perfectly if you can get them to sort of match up in just the right way. I mean, all of those things work in concert one with another, and they can be very synergistic. For example, if you use an annuity to bridge your income gap in retirement and to guarantee your income for the rest of your life, now you don't have to worry as much about the ebbs and flows in your stock market portfolio. So it gives you a permission slip, as it were, to take more risk in your stock market portfolio, which according to Dave Ramsey, and I actually agree with him, if you are 100% allocated to stocks in your portfolio, you will have better returns over time. That's just a proven fact. And so when you utilize these types of investment tools, they allow you to take higher levels of risk, which over the arc of a 35-year retirement can add up to quite a bit of extra wealth. And so these things have to be used in concert with one another. You can't do it in a willy-nilly sort of a way. You have to have someone shepherding you through the process and someone who's been down that road before to make sure that you are utilizing them in just the right fashion.
Yeah, it's a beautiful puzzle. But again, it's like, why is that so novel? It makes no sense to me. I guess because we want a soundbite world.
Yes, that's exactly the problem. You can't really plumb the depths of all of the different applications of these products in a 10-second soundbite. And so that doesn't work in service of Ramsey and company's broader goal, which is to appeal to a broad swath of America so that you can expand your empire. And Ramsey, by definition, must appeal to every possible demographic. And so when he gives a pithy 10-second aphorism that completely characterizes cash value life insurance or annuities, he does so at the expense of nuance. And so that's really what gets lost in all of this when we deal with financial gurus is we miss out on the nuance. And that's really what my book, The Guru Gap, is driving at.